Second game, like we said. No musical break this time, just figured we'd jump right back into the game. Waiting on a few players to get round up, but like we said before, just a really interesting game previously. And here's hoping that we get the same for the next game as well.
Yeah, certainly. One of the things that I love, because I like to sit around and analyze things, is I like to see what adaptations and adaptations are gonna come into play. Are we gonna see any target bans? Are Team Take the Lantern going to allow Kokoro to play Anivia again? Is Alawi going to get banned? I can't wait to see
Yeah,
how this ends up.
that's something I really love about later games in a series. I mean, obviously the first game is great because you're getting to see what kind of statements both teams are making and things of that nature. But just the simple fact that they were able to, get something done, maybe put a little bit of fear of particular champions in each other's heads, so then you see if the bans reflex that in the second, third, or however many games there are in a series.
Exactly, and is the devil you know better than the devil maybe
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, who knows what you're going to let through if you have to sacrifice a ban or two for the characters that you lost to last time.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting some confirmations of people getting ready. Got players in, casters in, and we're moving straight to Jam Select. So let's get going on game number 2.
Right off the bat,
Taking,
same target ban as last time. That Soda ban is an excellent choice.
yeah, gotta take out
Sorry.
that Sona.
Yeah.
And the Anivia gone right away.
Never again. Team Take the Lantern
Never
shouts.
again. No more ice birds. Yeah, we'll have to see if because the other thing is interesting is obviously trying to see if the winning team from the previous game decides to ban battle. Yeah, and there we go.
Fear controls them.
Decided to take that Kane out because I mean Kane was obviously a huge impact last game, so they're respecting that and banning it out.
Yeah, in fact, Team Take the Lantern's success in the game almost perfectly corresponded with the power level of Kane.
Yeah, for sure, because there was that huge power spike in the mid game right after he went Dakin or Darkin.
Exactly.
And Zoe, of course, getting banned out like we joked earlier. Don't want any of that.
Right. The target advance on mid though feels bad.
Or feels good if you're somebody who enjoys getting the respect you so rightly deserve.
Yeah, exactly. That's the camp I belong to.
All right, so 3 mid bans versus two bans that reflect last game pretty well, but the Udyr manages to get picked up here. Probably
that. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I'm sure Fatley is very happy to get on Udyr. I'm a big fan of the character.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, Udyr was banned out last time by Take the Lantern. So my guess would be they're just it had to slip through somehow, and here it is. Ooh, but the Vel'Koz is also let through as well. So a couple of banned characters from last game coming through now. It'll be exciting to see how those play out. Like you said, it's evil you know versus evil you don't. Because now we have characters that were banned out before getting through now, seeing if they're any better or worse than what they dealt with last game, respectively.
Exactly. Looks like Team Take the Lantern is, Team Northern Storm is willing to roll the dice a little bit and see if they. Oh no, I've got my sides mixed up. Apologies. Oh no, that's very clever. So they've taken the Vel'Koz to further put pressure on that mid lane. That's 4 mid lane takeaways from Team Take the Lantern. I finally got my sides.
Yeah, because Take the Lantern, I believe, did ban out that Vel'Koz in game 1 as well. It was Udyr, Vel'Koz, and Zoe were their bans. So now, rather than they decided to let the Udyr and Vel'Koz through, and then picked up whichever one wasn't immediately snagged.
Exactly.
But now we've got the Annie coming out. That's nice to see. A little bit more champion variety there. But Malphite and Sejuani, very familiar characters so far for the LCUS.
Oh, yeah, but a very different style from Menard's, the jungler. He was playing Kayn the last game, and so he's gone from attack damage assassin to the tankiest tank he could find.
Yeah.
It just indicates a different kind of play style we're looking forward to.
And poor Alawi getting banned. That's unfortunate. I actually really enjoyed watching her.
I don't necessarily enjoy playing against Alawi, so I can respect Team Take the Lantern on that one. And they locked in Malphite with their last pick, so they sort of had the choice to pick something to match, so that there wasn't any unmatched lanes in the first 3 picks, but instead they decided to put extra pressure on top lane. I actually really like this pick ban phase coming out of Team Take the Lantern.
Yeah, another Ornn ban as well.
I recommend skipping.
So really interesting. Definitely a lot of respect for the Ornn today.
Exactly, especially shaking that stirred Ornn. It's another one that I've heard a lot about.
But I mean, they're leaving a lot of things open for top lane still. You know,
oh yeah, he's certainly got champions. That's yeah.
Because Cho is available, Scion's available, Nautilus is available. There's a lot of top lane potential going on here. Let me just see what he decides to go with. I'm expecting a Cho from from this, but
it depends. The question is Shaken Master going to go with meta or comfort? And he loudly screams comfort.
Rumble. All right. You know, like I said, lots of options, and now we see another one.
Yeah, exactly. That's Rumble into playing as the Malphite into Rumble. It's going to be rough. That Rumble is a bully, and it's going to shove that Malphite right out of lane.
All right. So first impressions I'm getting looking at these picks is just a lot of durability. I mean, both sides have 3.5 or tanks, depending on how everyone builds.
Yeah, although knowing the builds that I expect coming out of Team Northern Storm, I think they're actually going to be a little bit on the squishy side.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously have the potential to go a lot squishier, you know, depending on how the Udyr and the Rumble build, for sure. But I mean, you got Leona and Sejuani, both very meaty characters. Malphite is most likely to go at least some kind of durability as well. So a lot of protect the mid and the ADC here coming at it. Take the Lantern.
Yeah, take the Lantern's objective for this game is very clear. We're gonna let the Valkaz and the Tristana just destroy the enemy team. The way that Team Northern Storm's going to deal with that is a little bit more dynamic, and I'm interested to see which strategy they.
Yeah, I mean, if the Udyr plays his cards right and gets in some good flanks, he could really easily eviscerate their back line, especially on the Valkaz. But on the other hand, Varus also has that good poke potential as well. So if you've got a Valkaz, you know, shooting laser beams or whatever from behind the Malphite and the Sejuani, Varus can just charge him a big arrow and hit him anyway.
Yeah, and you know that arrow goes through the tanks, right? So you're not even that safe in the back line.
Mm-hmm. I would actually be really interested to see if there's going to be any cute Tom Kench travel plays where he just grabs the whole team and drops them right on the Tristana's face.
Yeah, that makes some interesting plays for sure. In fact, all 4 members on Team Northern Storm that could possibly be traveled with Tom Kench, I don't think I'd like to see any of them pop out of him on the other side if I was on Team Take the Lantern. So that could get a little bit rough for sure.
I'd almost say Varus is the preferable one there compared to the others, which is a weird thing to say about an ADC suddenly dropping on your head.
Yeah.
But you've got the AoE stun coming out of the Annie, you got the stun coming out of the Udyr, and Rumble just being a general pain in the butt.
Yeah, he only comes with a slow and just an absolute ton of damage, right? Like that's all he's.
No, that's all. Yeah, that's fine then. Here I was worried about nothing. You have made me feel much better about things now. Thank you.
Yeah. I also love the idea that the optimal strategy here for Team Northern Storm is to take their ADC and throw him face first into the enemy team.
Well, you know, Tristana does it to herself. She doesn't need anyone else to throw her into it. She throws herself at people, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just not as self-sufficient.
It's interesting also, a lot of CC options. I think just kind of looking at this, I'd say it's about even in terms of CC potential. I mean, because obviously Leona's got her stuns, Vel'Koz has a little bit of a knock-up, Sejuani's got her big stuns, and Malphite, of course, has his game-changing ult initiation. And other side, like we already said, with the Tom Kench scenario, you got stuns all over the place. Udyr, Annie's, you know, 3 varieties of stuns. So, Varus
Exactly.
especially, his could change a lot in a fight.
Exactly. Even Tom Kent brings some form of CC with a stun as well. But
All right, so with Northern Storm leading 1-0, we'll see if Take the Lantern can bring it back in our last game of the night. And of course, once again, we go to the question of skins.
as a former Leona main, I'm always super picky about my Leona skin. So let's see what Tilted Strelix is bringing to the table.
Iron Solari.
That one's on the good list. So she gets a pass.
I was
1 point.
I was gonna say that we got the a little bit better there for Take the Lantern just because they have all skins, but then they've got the great Udyr skin. So I don't know. I'm torn.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to give the skin edge to Take the Lantern. But you're right. I mean, that is a close competition. Shout out to the Super Galaxy Rumble. That's always a favorite one of mine.
Yeah, a lot of good quality skins here. Some chromas as well, I think. I don't believe that the Malphite skin's supposed to be green.
You know? Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, we're gonna have a little bit face first checking here. They make it out okay. Drop down that ward for safety.
Everyone's playing the same Tristana skin too, so maybe just dock a point or two for originality.
That's fair. Oh, yeah, I think I would have preferred to see a reaction out of Team Take the Lantern when all 5 showed, and the bot side of their own jungle, a little bit of aggressive warding to figure out what side the enemy jungler was starting on, but looks like they weren't interested in sacrificing their ward charges.
Minions have spawned.
Taking a look at their items across the board, looks like pretty standard starts. Relic shields out of both of our supports. Interesting note that our Udyr is running with the Predator Keystone, which is going to make him even faster than he already is. So that can be pretty scary.
Goes fast. He's a fan of the new Sonic games that have come out lately. He's got to get in there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, we've got a red bot side started out of both of our junglers. Looks like fairly normal gameplay. Kinos, what lane do you think is going to be the most interesting lane to watch in the early game here?
Well, I mean, I've always got an eye on Vel'Koz because I'm a Vel'Koz player. But I think that just seeing how well the bot lane can handle the very different types of CC they both can handle to try to get some picks could be very interesting. And of course, the hyper aggression from Rumble is pretty good too. But I think we're going to see some action bot lane just to start off with, unless the Rumble just constantly pushes the Malphite up to the point where the Malphite just needs a Sejuani to come up and get some presence. That could be really interesting to watch happen.
Exactly. It looks like Rumble's more interested in the creep wave than harassment, at least right off the bat. Looks like
Jungle's
level
about
2
to
is hit.
run into each other here a little bit. But nope, they're still...
They're contesting the red buff. This is a little bit bold coming out of Fat Lee, but I think he knows his champ.
Well, yeah, I mean, with Udyr can get really strong early, especially against just a level 2 character. top laner's also trying to help, but yes, Sasha's just got to get out there. Might be end up losing red buff. Mid laner's getting involved too.
Yeah. Looks like this Vel'Koz is gonna go look forward, kind of helping out, a little bit more than he meant to, I think.
Yeah.
But
Udyr gets it.
Udyr gets it. He 3 buffs.
3 buffs
Looks like-
and level 4. Or no, not level 4 yet. Level 3 still. I got distracted.
Oh, this Dirty just waiting for him to pull Raptors. Oh, but he does secure the smite. Little scuffle going on in the jungle. Very interesting.
Yeah, this is the most action we've seen out of just the jungle all day, I think.
The jungle skirmishes are a little bit down and dirty, but that's what makes them so fun.
Yeah. Malphite getting really low up in the top lane. He is double flashes burned, and he gets out of there with...
Oh, first blood goes over to our Malphite.
I think he also had 8 hit points, so we got a new low hit point record.
What a great game! This is shaping up right away.
I was really expecting Udyr to do something crazy there.
Yeah, that caught my attention too.
I'm surprised he didn't. I mean, that little extra bit of health, I still think the Udyr, if he'd flashed the wall, bear tigered, I think that could have gone really well for him. But
yeah,
such is life.
Such is life. Teleport out of our Malphite, but not out of our Rumble. Rumble is shaking that sword, is taking the decision to walk up slowly. This is giving Malphite just enough time to push out the waves so that Fat Lee can get in behind him. But it looks like he's got other things on his mind. Is this a gank coming into mid lane?
Could be.
Well, that's what this looks like. He goes in for the run. Looking for.
I think Vel'Koz spotted it. Oh, really aware flash there. That was really good awareness by the Vel'Koz, just knowing the second stun was coming and flashing just get a little more distance so the Udyr can't dive him.
Yeah, 100% necessary as well. Great heads up play from Udge. Not to discredit that gank at all, they got the flash out, and at the end of the day, that is absolutely worth it. Return gank coming in. Opts out of it. Looks like things have reset. Let's see.
Yeah.
Take a look at the creep score differences here. We've got 8 up ahead for our Rumble.
Yeah.
Looks like... Sorry,
I was going to say, Rumble's picking on Malphite again, top lane. A little bit of robotic warfare going on up there.
Yeah, it's a Mecha versus Mecha. And Rumble's begun bullying off Malphite. Feels bad.
Yeah, relatively even exchanges going on in the bot lane too. It's interesting to watch these sort of mechanics play out where both sides are kind of respecting each other. Really even CS so far.
Yeah, the Tom Kentra is a great choice into the Leona, but it kind of feels a little bit pacifist.
We got Sej going in here in the mid lane. A lot of abilities going down. Stun there on the Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz is willing to sacrifice his own life total to try and get the Annie. Oh! Almost didn't pay off, but that natural passive ability of Tibbers getting snapped back to Annie's side and saving the Vel'Koz from death.
Oh, that was so close. Great fight. And great gank coming out of Menard. And he's a little bit bold sticking around here, but...
Probably just knows the damage potential isn't there yet.
Probably feels a little bit like Tibbers is there, but...
Udyr trying to get in. Probably, yep, gets the Leona.
Oh, and secures the kill on Leona.
Yeah, Leona burned flash there. Probably wasn't the best choice, considering the low hit point total, but you know, sometimes you just go by reflex. Exactly.
Interesting to see where the gold differences are coming from. Where Team Take the Lantern is 700 gold behind, and that looks like it's coming out of top lane for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of CS coming out of there thanks to Rumble's really cheap AOE flamethrower. But I mean, in terms of like gold numbers, really, Varus is up about 2,000 on Tristana. is quite interesting, just from perspective. That's how much the one kill gets you, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Udyr,
A little bit of a
really hungry. The mid lane. just flat up ran at the Vel'Koz.
just straight in lane. Like, hey, what's up? My name is Udyr. Menard's very happy to have a chance to actually secure his red this time around.
Yeah, I'm sure. Malphite, like you said in the beginning, just having a really rough lane. Down on CS a significant amount, just living under his turret. He set up a tent, set up, you know, he's got a part-time job mowing lawns in front of his turret.
Hey, anything to pay the bills, right?
Right, definitely needs to start paying the bills, because, I mean, even though he's only 200 gold behind, it's still got to be pretty painful. But it looks like there's going to be a big jungle top lane fight about to go down here.
Rumble ult goes down, turret aggro gets taken. Malphite.
Oh, amazing job by Malphite and Sej. Sej coming in probably saves Malphite's life. Hopefully Malphite doesn't waste.
Yes. You need to turn around. You guys need to disengage if you want.
Yeah,
to
like you should leave right now. Good charge out.
Oh.
You should stay leaving right now. What are you doing, guys? Get out of there.
This is
Oh my
the
God,
time to leave
Malphite,
now.
what are you doing? Really questionable choice there by
He's gonna get a kill back though.
Malphite. Does get the kill back, but I mean, I guess he would say it's worth it. Sejuani also. Oh my God.
My.
That's understanding your champions, right there. That's what that is. The understanding that you can take somebody out and they don't have a chance against you.
The flash forward on the Q to lock the stun. Great mechanical play coming out of Take the Lantern, out of both Gotta Get Lucky and Menards. What an inch! What a heck of a team fight.
Yeah, worth noting that the Vel'Koz did also pick off the Annie during that battle as well.
Well, we were a little bit focused on top lane there.
Yeah, I'm sure the Vel'Koz did great. You know, I love him.
Yes, everyone's rooting for him. But to be fair, with a name like Udge, you gotta love him.
I think every time we try to pronounce his name, the spectators who actually know how his name is pronounced get a little grumpy. That's fine.
Just cringe.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a Tom Kench play coming here in the mid. And a little bit of a scuffle around Dragon. Looks like the collapse is coming down.
Ooh, really good stun there from Leon.
Zenith Blade comes out. Tom Kench grabs. Does the stun comes out of ult out of Vel'Koz.
Doesn't really deal that much damage yet. It doesn't look like Vel'Koz is that much in the way of damage potential at this point.
What a team fight. Shield gets popped by Oceanic Abyss, gets wrapped up, reset and dash forward by Tristana. Summoner Heal comes out. Looks like Annie gets secured. At the end of the day, 4-for-0, massive team fight coming out of Team Take the Lane.
Just immediately go top lane where Malphite's trying to make it 5-0.
Oh, that's a little bit risky there. What? Looks like ults are down. Malphite's just trying to reset to let his shield come up. Rumble doesn't want to give him the opportunity, but looks like things reset. First, her blood goes over to Team Take Lantern off the back of that massive team fight.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Shuffle, but I'm getting some deja vu here. In the first game that we saw between these two teams, Take the Lantern also got into a really quick start, and then Northern Storm just came back in the middle and late game and just kind of cleaned house.
One of those Tom Kench plays coming in, Fat Lee runs forward, and Jungler gets secured. Oh boy, that comeback is starting a little bit earlier than last game.
Yeah, indeed. Yep. And there it is. Rumble taking advantage of Malphite sticking around. And once again, they get a Cloud Drake first.
Action across the rift. Deja vu indeed. Looking at the lanes resetting here. Should be pretty normal stuff. Looks like Malphite is condemned to live in this top lane against that lane bully Rumble, but it's very interesting. I wonder how the items are stacking up in the CSs.
Yeah, I mean the CS is still really heavily in favor of Rumble. Malphite still within 200 gold though.
The first blood is really helping him out.
Yeah, for sure. Though he is one level behind, almost even levels. He's gonna hit level 10 in a second.
Rumble did wisely, or not Rumble, excuse me, gotta get lucky on this Malphite, wisely led off with Spectre's Call. That's the best bit of thing that you can do against Rumble. So he's trying to buy himself as much time as possible, but it's certainly not going to be easy for him to stay alive.
Vel'Koz sitting very comfortably at 3-0. Really dealing a lot of damage to that Annie.
Oh, ult's in the lane.
Yeah, Pop's ult, interesting choice. Annie was kind of at a maximum range there. I think he just wants to secure his presence.
It just makes farming the creeps a little bit easier, I think.
Yeah, and Vel'Koz's ult does have a pretty short cooldown, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Poor Malphite getting bullied in the top lane again. It's going to go into a 3-page story about how sad that is for him, but I think we've covered that enough. I'm sure he's writing his own documentary about it right now.
Yeah, exactly. We'll hear he'll write a hello.
Oh, poor Annie. Annie gets blown up. Really seeing that CC that Sejuani can put down in a big way there. Of course, you know, Vel'Koz coming to help. Not the worst thing in the world, but just Sej doing a lot of the work there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that hard CC is such a game changer. Fat Lee is able to secure the Rift Herald in the downtime. There's one thing going for Team Northern Storm. It's only a 1,000 gold difference or thereabouts, so it's still a very close game.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what the next big play out of Northern Storm is, because I mean they did get a little bit of that momentum swing back on them. And we'll just have to see if they can capitalize on something else to keep the momentum rolling their way.
Looking at our itemization choices here, pretty normal stuff out of Malphite, trying to be the tank that he always has wanted to be. Vel'Koz and Tristana both have their key items set up, or their first items, I should say, so their first time spikes are going in full force. This Varus, however, does not have his. Oh, sorry, he is ready. So it looks like about everyone is on their first item spike here.
Yeah, a lot of damage going out on that Tristana. Doesn't die, but does have to burn heal to get away. Ooh, this Udyr coming in is going to be really dangerous.
Flashes forward, gets gobbled up at the last second. Has the bomb on him, does get secured by the Tristana. That was by the skin of his teeth. Yeah. So close to securing those kills.
Yeah, really good job by the Vel'Koz using his laser to just secure that, or help secure that, I should say, at the end there.
In our other lanes, we have pushes coming out of Annie and Rumble. Both are pushing their turret hard. Rumble's pushing the second tier turret already.
Yeah, I feel really bad for the Udyr. We've had one or two situations now where he's, you know, gone in, gotten some good engage, and then just gets deleted.
Yeah, always so close. It's sort of the perpetual, never lucky sort of problem, but unfortunately that's just the way it works. Ult out of Malphite onto Rumble. Rumble ult goes down. Flashes out of Annie to disengage. Can this flash out of into shield for speed? Looks like that's the end of that fight, but yeah, very close to securing some kills there.
Udyr may want to do his go in and try to make plays again.
Oh no, is he gonna do the I almost killed him but get killed instead part of the play too?
He might have tried if that turret wasn't right there. I think the fact that they're under turret is making him be a little shy. But
that's probably the wise choice.
Yes. Probably still traumatized after that incredible tower team fight we saw at top lane.
Yeah, exactly. I'm liking the pressure that the Fat Lee is putting out in this here, but unfortunately in his team fights, it just hasn't quite worked out for him all the time. A bit of a trade going on in bot lane. Looks like we got a 4-man fight, and one of those Tahm Kench ults. Wonderful Leona stun locks down the Tahm Kench under turret range. That was a fantastic stun coming out of Alex.
Yeah, the Tahm Kench was pretty low too, so it was interesting to see that go down on him. The Rift Herald, after stretching his legs, walking all the way from bottom's farthest turret. Ooh, really good job shutting down the Triss. Good flash from the Varus to possibly get out of there. Malphite coming in. Rumble's probably going to die here.
Flash forward. That Malphite really gotta get lucky to kill that.
Oh, that's a hungry Malphite, but Annie-stun locks him down, and that's
a little bit too deep.
Yeah, that's the story of the Malphite that went too far.
I think oh no.
Nope.
300 gold difference.
The important thing is that he tried. That's the important thing. Always remember that
exactly.
He tried.
An effort was made. And he did get the Rumble kill. I'm not sure. I'm not sure gotta get like this happy about losing both the summoners for that trade, but in the end, I'd say worth.
Yeah, it's interesting watching Malphites, like you said, being the think you can attitude here. We've seen a couple of Malphites today that have just really been going above and beyond in their attempt to secure kills and make plays.
Yeah, it's really easy because Malphite has a go button, right? And once you press that button,
he goes.
You go. There's no not go button.
There's no change in your mind. There's no Lee Sin button to get you back out. There's just you exist there.
Exactly.
Second Cloud Drake coming out here for Northern Storms. So it's once again very similar to what we saw last game.
Exactly. No Infernal Drake yet, but there will be one spawning next, so this is going to be a big point of fight, big point to fight over for both our teams here, and I think may determine the direction that this game goes in the future.
Lane's kind of soft reset a little bit.
Yeah, but we might have a bit of a tango up in top lane. Rumble's shoving off Malphite, but looks like we've got both junglers and also a mid laner looking towards top lane as well.
Yeah, Udyr is running around cleaning out wards that have been placed all over the place. Looks like Sej is willing to move up here. Udyr's ready for her though. Here we go.
Getting checked in. So far, no stuns have come out. Okay, there's our first stun. Vel'Koz lays down the hurt. Varus secures an ult. Sej trades the ult back. Now we're fighting in top lane. Rumble ult goes down. Vel'Koz ult is able to secure the kill on the Rumble. I believe the Malphite ulted to lock that Rumble in places.
Yes, he did. Yeah, once again, that Udyr suffering once again from starting the big plays and then just getting deleted. You hate to see it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a heartbreaker for sure. Because you gotta go and make those. Uh-oh, it looks like Portstormer might be getting caught under turret here. Malphite, gotta get lucky tanking up. Vel'Koz is too busy deleting to let me finish my sentence, but that is the end of that.
Yeah, and Portstormer got picked off.
Hung around turret for just a little bit too long. Looks like Northern Storm is trying to collapse in this Malphite, but he is very happy to get out. Get the heck out of dodge. Teleport comes out for this Rumble. Very interested in reestablishing his lane dominant.
Yeah. Second turret taken for take the lantern there.
Yeah, and bot lane, a lot of pushing coming out of our bot lane. Exactly.
Udyr's getting another little skirmish there as well. Looks like Sejuani just really has Udyr's number today. Oh, he's burning that ult on him too. And the flash.
Forward.
Oh.
Oh no.
Like I said, you hate to see it. Ooh, good flash there by the way.
Forward. Uh-oh, this is all over but the crying. Oh no.
Annie with the swing there, getting that Timber stun.
Tom Kinch. Ult forward, flash forward out of Annie. Gets the stun. Rumble all comes out. Kinch, nope. She gets secured by Annie, by Kokoro.
After that
What
whole,
a turnaround.
Yeah, after that whole exchange is over, it's a 3-for-1.
Every time I think I can say that I end up waiting a second, and I'm very happy that I do.
LCUS really trying to keep them off that turret, but to no avail.
It's got to clear the wave somehow, so. Uh-oh. Let's see. I'm what do you think the team's next major objectives are going to be? Do you think they're going to go for early Baron, or are we going to try to reestablish lanes?
Well, I would think that if they were going to do the Baron, they could have done it right after they won that 3-1. Even though the Udyr was down, they might have had a chance to do it there. But deciding to go for the turret instead, they'll probably just wait for the next big pickup. And it'll be it's really anyone's game at this point, because the teams are relatively even, as we've seen in these fights. It's just a question of who ends up getting caught.
Malphite into Vel'Koz ult. We get a wombo combo. Most of Team Northern Storm's ults have been expended, and they have no way to disengage, and that goes very poorly for Team Take the Lantern. Malphite teleporting to top to collect the wave. Oh, to fight with the Udyr, but things are going very poorly, and Malphite is just trying to engage at this time.
Annie gets deleted, trying to make some plays happen. Looked like she was trying to use that new flash ability to try to get a short-range teleport into the fight, but instead ended up going sideways.
Oh no. Hextech flash, yeah, I think that's a must-have on Annie, but it looks like Inhibitor's going to go down too. Team Take the Lantern is doing their best to explode up in an opening in this game, but this still seems very familiar to a game that we saw not too long ago.
I think they have a little more momentum on their side this time, though, especially if they do. Well, I was going to say if they were going to try to turn on that Infernal, but I think that Northern Storm is going to try to just grab the Baron here.
Yeah, it's double warded though, so they should have a good idea. Looks like the BMP baiting it more than anything else, but Team Take the Lantern shouldn't fall for it because they have it envisioned. Yeah,
with all those wards in there, and especially because they just drop the control ward and don't see either of the wards that are in there.
Oh no, that's rough. Put it more in the middle.
But I mean, that being said, Malphite is really out of position, and Leona's going back.
Yeah, I mean they could opt to rush it down. Well, and
they are.
Man, you were very on point with your predictions today. Let's see. They're aware though, so Sedge is here. Is she gonna try to make the hero play? Yeah, she'd be doing it on a ward though, so they're aware.
The one Baron steal we saw was a Sedge, but nope. Sedgemoney does not get it, and so this might be what helps turn it around for. But Red Team does get their Infernal Drake.
All right, trading the Infernal for the. It's sort of a consolation prize, really. I think they realize their position.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, might as well get the Infernal, because Infernal lasts forever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You just need to hold Baron for a couple of minutes. But this could be the power swing that Northern Storm needs to really just get back into this game. Not that they're, out of the game by any means. Gold differential and just general feel of the game can tell this is very close, but this could really start to swing it back in their way.
Yeah, this is either the start of the comeback or the last bastion of hope, right? It's gonna be something along those lines.
Yeah, we'll have to see, and especially once the Baron buff is off, to see how big of an impact that Infernal makes.
Yeah, let's see what Team Northern Storm is able to accomplish. Baron, right? You can certainly grab a Baron and just try to stall up the game a little bit because you've got the gold now, but if they're able to get something done here, they could completely swing the whole momentum of the game.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what they'll be able to get done, especially considering that while they do have the Baron buff, you have to remember that Team Take the Lantern does have the inhibitor advantage. So pushing down the mid lane is a little bit more strenuous.
Looks like since Rumble's in top lane, it looks like Team Take the Lantern is considering doing a dive onto the 4 people here. Leona lands a stun on Tom Kench, who flashes over. Looks like no follow-up though, so they're going to be able to take this blast cone to safety and reset the fight.
Malphite going up to greet his age-old rival in the top lane.
Let me tell you, he must be enjoying the genius out of this match. As the Rumble chunks him down to a 2/3 with nothing but Qs.
Vel'Koz coming to help though.
And just like you said, from the other, we've been looking at it but from Team Take the Lantern's perspective, all they have to do is hold out the next couple of minutes, right? You were alluding to taking the long-term advantage over the short-term advantage, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Baron buff's got another quarter duration on it, so they should almost be.
Big engagement off of this Leona. Tom Kench gobbles it up. Vel'Koz ult is tearing it down. A lot of flashes come out. Sedge locks up. Leona grabs another Zenith Blade into a stun combo. That is all over. Double kill going for Team Take the Lantern. That is certainly one way to hold a Baron.
Yeah, just kill the other team. Why not?
Death is the best CC unless it's not if you're playing.
Rumble's still totally dominating the poor Malphite, but Malphite does manage to hold the turret with only a little damage.
He needs to build a Warmog so that he can just walk away and come back at full health.
It looks like he's a long way from the Warmog. Seems like he's building Thorn Mail, I would think, instead.
That's fair. I probably pretty scared of that Varus and Udyr, so that's probably fair. Looks like Baron has fallen off, so Team Take the Lantern survives. Gold lead is about as close as it has been this whole game, so we're off to the races yet again.
And the inhibitor is back, so we're back to being a relatively close game. Looking at the gold for everyone, it looks like
collapsing on Malphite. We've got a Tom Kench into a Rumble into an Udyr. Malphite ults forward into safety, but still gets stunned all the same. Flashes, he's going to make it out safely.
Yeah, they're probably just happy with that flash, considering how close the game is.
Collapse on Annie. Leona's stun doesn't land, but the slow does.
Varus
turns around, gets a flash out of Udge, gets a heal out of Udge. Looks like they're trying to collapse on this. Wonderful Zenith Blade coming out of Leona to slow things down. Udge has Zonia's and gets cleaned up. Leona is going to get cleaned up too.
And here's these pickoffs we've been talking about the whole day. You catch 2 big, impactful characters out of position, and suddenly you're in a 5v3, and you're back in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Gold is dead even right now. It's only going to get worse when this goes down. Malphite looking for that kill. Isn't going to secure it. Goes a little bit too far.
Oh, the Tom Kench saves him again. What a hero. Looks like they're just happy with the inhibitor turret. I'm a little surprised. I mean, granted, they're all pretty weak, but all they had... Well, I suppose it's Tristana's back.
Yeah, that's Tristana is pretty scary. I don't know if you... So, oh, no.
No.
Turn on Death Push, collapse.
No ADC is that scary.
Safety. Oh, no.
No ADC is that scary when an Udyr is on her. But
exactly.
Enough time for Vel'Koz to come back, reminding Annie who's boss.
Yeah, Tilted Sadak able to trade back that kill for his own death, at least adding that small consolation prize, and then Vel'Koz came in and really put the damper on that push that Team Northern was looking to make. Next objective up is was it Cloud Drake? Indeed,
yep,
it is. Cloud Drake is coming up in 10 seconds. Baron's up in about a minute. Let's see how the teams position their vision and control and what they prioritize here.
Yeah, pretty sure they're just going to try to get this Drake there with Take the Lantern in a relatively good spot to at least start it, if not succeed on it. Another probably 30 seconds before Annie and Udyr can get involved.
No smite though over here. So this Varus has a decent chance of securing it with a Q.
Ooh, very close.
Oh, closer than I think Team Take the Lantern appreciates. But.
Yeah. Varus probably didn't think he was going to get it, but a really good effort nonetheless. Now they're trying to catch up to Tahm Kench.
To get the stun on him, that is a nice Rumble ult. Leona tries to stun him, only gets the slow. Not so much for everyone else, and that wraps that up.
Yeah, that was a really good engage there by the Vel'Koz and the Tristana, just locking that down. And now they look like they want to get Baron right away.
Yeah, Team Northern Storm is well aware though. Let's see if they can do anything to interrupt this fight. Looks... flash, Hextech flash out of the Annie. Turn around immediately before she's able to do much. Doesn't get any of her stuns off, but hasn't died quite yet. Still finally secured. Turned off Baron there for a moment. Leona, nice pixel perfect Zenith blade onto that Udyr, and no more smite concern. Flash forward from Oceanic Abyss trying to secure that dragon. Baron comes very close but doesn't succeed. That is a lot of momentum now, but only a 1.5 gold lead for Team Take the Lantern.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of commitment there out of the Tahm Kench. I'm not sure if it was worth it. I mean, obviously you wanted to prevent a huge Baron buff push, but regardless of Baron buff or not, they were going to be pushing really in a really huge way, right? Because it still would have been, you know, 1 versus 4, whatever the numbers were going to be.
Exactly.
So I don't know. We'll see if that burn flash has any particular impact in the next couple of fights.
Yeah, exactly. It's always interesting to watch that kind of thing. You know, we as the casters get the opportunity to be Captain Hindsight and take a look, but you know, what's the opportunity cost of burning that flash, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Let's take a look at the itemization now that we're 35 minutes into this game. Looks like both of our ADCs are well into their build. We've got a Blade of the Rune King coming out of Tristana and a Rage Blade coming out of Varus. See a unbroken stopwatch on this Rumble, so watch for the next time he turns golden. Pretty even game, although just like last game, there are some definite differentials. Vel'Koz has a lead over Annie, and Rumble has a lead over Runway.
Good stun there by the Sejuani on that Tahm Kench.
Is he going to make it out? Oh, that is a great stun out of the Annie to keep her support alive.
Not to mention the just horrific tankiness of Tahm Kench. I mean, the fact that he keeps getting those shields is absolutely insane.
Tahm Kench is disgusting in more than one way. Oh, looking for that ult. Making a play. Did they catch out Tristana? No, but they did catch out Sejuani. Oh no, flash out of Psyduck, doesn't make it over the wall, and he gets deleted by Team Northern Storm.
Once again, a very familiar, slightly out of position situation becomes a 5v3.
It's happened on both sides. I wonder if Team Northern Storm is going to try to end the game here.
I think they have the potential to do so. We'll have to see. 30 seconds.
Oh, they're looking just for the inhibitor and turning around.
Yeah, they may be trying to push out top as well. It is relatively weak, and they do have a creep wave right there. 20 seconds.
Yeah, and Udyr's cutting off the wave. They're definitely looking to top, but is he going to get in more trouble? Nah, Team
Oh, nope. There's some laser beams. And a good ult, too.
Oh! They take the 3v5. Can they make it out okay?
They should be able to. That Rumble is not moving as well as he might like to.
Rumble ult is blocked off. Oh no. Ends up being a 1 for 2. That's rough. That was a fantastic Rumble ult coming out of Shaken Not Stirred. I keep expecting the game to reset, but it keeps being a 2-for-1 trade here, a 2-for-1 trade there. We haven't really had status quo for a moment, for a hot minute.
Oh, Sejuani really wants that Annie. Doesn't look like she's going to get it, though. Bot lane's getting a lot of chip damage dealt to it by that minion wave. Rumble finally clears it up. Really impressive. work by the Winions there.
No Flame Horizon coming out of Rumble this game yet, but he's doing his best to get it there.
Yeah. All right. So the Elder Drake will be coming up in a minute here. Really interesting to see who ends up taking that. It'll be relatively, I mean, depending which side of the arguments about Cloud Drake you come down on, it'll be a relatively high damage spike, if nothing else, for Team Take the Lantern.
Bit of a skirmish too around this blue buff. Rumble ult does come out, as does Tom Kench's Gray Health, so for not much back in return. So good trade for Team Take the Lantern.
Vel'Koz being pretty low. Gotta look out for the burst that's gonna come out from that.
Unfortunately, but he was able to heal up off the honey.
And here comes the Elder Drake. And Udyr just kind of bapping Sej in the face and running away.
And he's moving so fast. Sej lands a stun, but and the ult. Trunked on that Varus. He was a major source of carry. The redemption should keep everyone alive here. Malphite looking a little bit. Okay, all right. Oh, it looks like Udyr's gonna go for base trade. He's gonna try to knock down some of the turrets.
And Rumble's going too.
Teleport coming out.
This could actually be huge.
Resets coming in. A couple of resets coming in here for Team Northern Storm.
Both turrets are down.
They're trying to wrap up the game. Okay, we have 3 back now. Trying to chunk out the players. Let's see. Almost there. Rumble dies and into the
700 hit points left on the Nexus.
That was so close to a great backdoor. As it was still a pretty good backdoor.
It wasn't even a backdoor because the minions were there. And Tom Kench is now coming in. They're going to try to lock it out.
Oh, they got 2.
Tom Kench is might be able to do it.
No!
No! Again.
Oh my goodness.
200 hit points this time.
Oh, that would have been such a finale, and we still have a finale to find. So who knows where this game is going to take us?
I'm actually very specifically writing down these records now because this is actually getting relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Elder Drake is going to go over uncontested to Team Take the Lantern. Spoke too soon. Varus is going to see what he can do about this. His timing is just on. Oh, very, very close. Baron spawning in 10 seconds. Let's see how Team Take the Lantern wants to use their Elder buff. Kinos, what do you think the right call is here for Team Take the Lantern? Should they go for the Baron when they have the better team fight buff from Elder Drake, or should they go and try to fight around the exposed inhibitor?
Well, when I'm in this situation, I'm just horrifically terrified of backdoors. Because I mean, I'm a Dota player. I'm used to Nature's Prophet coming in behind me and just ruining my life. But I mean,
oh goodness, big fight happening around the Baron. Tilted Psyduck, the Tristanis player, is. GA has already been procced. Looks like 2 deaths going over. About to make it 3 with this Malphite. Catastrophe for Team Take the Lantern. Great success for Team Northern Storms. Looks like they're going to try to wrap up the game here, and what an interesting situation where our Leona and Vel'Koz are on the wrong side.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what we were saying earlier about the team fight potential, while it was true that they were able to get a lot of damage off, the last, I'd say, 20 minutes or so, it seemed as though Northern Storm was just doing much better. You can't backdoor when there's minions, guys. Oh, I guess you can.
No, that's really weird. Graphical error on our side. The inhibitor was killed, but it didn't look like it was killed. Anyways, GG to Team Northern Storm. Twice with the comeback, twice with the secure. Twice with securing their victory. Great series, great fight coming out of Team Take the Lantern.
Yeah, and this one was actually definitely more of a comeback just based on the score screen. You know, we had they're behind in kills, and several other stats as well. They didn't get that Baron. all very relevant stats, very important stats to think about. But I mean, even more than that, what I was saying before, I misspoke about the glitch in the health bar, was that it just seemed as though um, Northern Storm was spending quite a lot of the game winning those team fights. You know, two or three times at least, they found themselves in 5 versus 3 situations just because they kept losing one or two players into early engages and then kept falling back. So there was a lot of momentum coming out of Northern Storm in those fights. It's just Take the Lantern managed to hold or clean up, and so it seemed a lot more even than it actually seemed to be.
Yeah, exactly. Team Take the Lantern also had some great team fights in there. Let's not discount that too much. Not. But well, and not that you were right, but they had some great team fights of their own. Honestly, there were some just mind-boggling good team fights in this game. It was a pleasure to cast.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks as though we are going to be doing a an interview here um, really quick just to wrap this up. Um, just checking to make sure who we're going to be speaking to. But we'll be really interested to see some of the insights from those games because the two very rapidly changing momentum games for both sides. They're really exciting final set for the evening.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to ask some questions because that was a wild ride and I can't imagine what it was like to play it out.
Yeah, most definitely. Still trying to figure out who we're going to be speaking with here. Um, getting some final notes there. No, go ahead.
Yep. Interesting to note that both of these games in this last series went to 40 minutes or so. Both were very late games and pretty much full build. It was very nice to see such an even game for.
All right.
And it sounds like our guest has arrived.
Yes, hey, Oceanic. Thanks for joining us here to wrap up today's games.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Really great, and going great for you, too, as well. Nice set of games there.
Ooh, they were a clincher or a Tom clincher, as someone in the chat said. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it was definitely a close game for both of them the entire time, so we were both kind of getting a little shaky in the comms, trying to figure out what we were trying to do. But in the end, it was just one clutch team fight that sealed the deal for both of them, basically.
Yeah, definitely. It was, I mean, like we were saying during the commentary, it was really interesting watching the games. Both of them were pretty much similar stories of Take the Lantern, getting the lead early, and then you guys just repping back around.
Yeah, it definitely seemed how it looked like. Obviously, the second game played out a little bit different, with the Trick 2G style ending.
Right.
But yeah, it was. We were talking the count just the entire time, like trying to figure out, like, okay, these guys definitely have the lead on us, but we're not out. What do we need to do? So we just kind of took it slow, tried to set up some plays here and there. I think the second game probably definitely went a little bit better for us in terms of like what we were trying to do late game. I mean, it kind of was different, as you can see, but the Tristana and Vel'Koz were so fed that game. We really needed to try to get them out of the way or lock them down so we could get it right because they had so many tanks.
Yeah, so many tanks. Truffle, I think you said you wanted to pick his brain a little bit.
Well, yeah, and it sort of depends on which person I had the pleasure of speaking to. So, with the Tom Kench plays, I also brought out Tom Kench last week, and one of the things that struck me was that your ult plays were on point. You used your ult excellently. Can you give me a little bit of insight onto what the comms were and the sort of decision process? Like, did you know that you were going to try to set up that ult play, or was it just sort of you saw a great one and you went for it?
I think it was more of if I saw an opportunity where we could catch someone out of position, or if, let's say, Sue was, I think the one play with Malphite, how we caught Malphite out, he started going in, and then we saw the team on the top side of the map, so most of us were on bot, so I just started yelling, somebody come with me, and I just just ulted over.
That's amazing. I totally makes sense.
It kind of happened on the end there too. As soon as with that second game with the team fight, as soon as Sedge kind of jumped in, and Rumble hit the amazing ult there and locked or got immediately Triss deleted and popped to GA. We kind of all just charged in, and we kind of took the fight off there. And then as soon as we got at least 2 of them down, I think it was 2, I started yelling again. I was like, "Somebody come with me!" And I halted right to the inhib.
Yeah, that's right, because they had the difficult decision of did they want to retreat through you or keep fighting the team fight that didn't go so well.
I think that one was a little bit more of a split decision out of mine, because I was like, okay, well, if they come this way, we're gonna cut them off and fight them, or we could just take the inhib. So I think my ults were more of a spur of the moment, like, hey, we could do this, let's do it, instead of more planned out, which probably isn't a good idea, but
Well, I mean,
it was different.
part of the joys of those sorts of ults, though, is that they are the ones that are organic and reactive and manage to get people in the right position at a split-second decision.
That is definitely true. It may not have worked out. I know some of my ults weren't too great, but I tried.
Yeah, you saved the Udyr quite a bit also, a couple of those fights, because Udyr really enjoyed going in deep, and we were noticing he's getting picked off quite a bit, but every time he wasn't is because you gobbled him up and ran away.
Yeah, that was Tom can't just eat or devour something that people hate the most, but when you're playing him, you love it.
I can second that.
The only downside is, like, except for, like, I think Port Swimmer got locked down from Sedge ult on one of the dives that they had, and I was spamming W to eat him, and for some reason he just wouldn't eat him, and he ended up dying. So I was like super ticked off about it, but it's weird.
Some things are just too big to eat.
You got that right.
All right, well, excellent. Yeah, just amazing 2 sets of games. They're definitely very entertaining ones to watch, and look forward to seeing what you guys do for the rest of the split.
Thanks. Props to the other team for giving us a nail biter. Basically, those 2 games were, whew, they were something else.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a good night.
Thank you. GG's.
You too. GG's.
All right. So, you got anything to add to wrap up the evening here, Travel?
No, I'm pretty much all tapped out. Those were great games, and that's all I have.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will be starting week 2 next Sunday, same time, 5:30 Central, which would be 6:30 Eastern. I'm not going to run through all the time zones, but you guys can do the math on the rest there. And I hope you all will come out again, watch it again, and feel free to keep giving us feedback for our GMA Gaming's LCUS. Thanks so much again for watching, and have a great night. Bye bye.
Bye bye.